everybody, welcome back to a brand new video of LEGO DC Supervillains Customs. Today we are doing Ghostbusters Afterlife Customs. Now, this does include spoilers for the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie. So, if you don't want spoilers, I would go watch the movie now and then come back. Definitely come back though, because you're going to want to see these customs. These look pretty good. They're pretty detailed, and I threw an extra character because I had a comment the other day saying that they wanted to see more Arkham customs. I'm gonna see what I can do, but I think you guys will like it. I also chose Mr. Freeze because a play on words, because you got Frozen Empire. If you get it, you get it. In honor of the new Ghostbusters movie, I thought I'd go back to this one and make some customs. First up, we have Phoebe. Now, this is Egon's Egon's granddaughter, and she kind of like carries on his legacy in the film. For this, I gave her some kind of long brown hair with the Egon glasses, and I gave her the Ghostbusters uniform with a weirder type of proton pack and blaster. I gave her some red shoes too, because she has those in the movie. Next up, we have Trevor. This is the character, of course, played by Finn Wolfhard. He is Phoebe's brother, and he later on becomes a Ghostbuster. Now we have two. This is Mr. Gruberson, played by Paul Rudd, Ant-Man himself. Great actor. We love to see him in movies. For this, I gave him some black long hair with a gray beard, and this gray zip-up hoodie with some navy blue pants and a belt. I gave him just kind of casual wear because he's a teacher in the movie, and there's no dress shirt piece, so I thought I'd recreate the picture of him wearing a hoodie. I think it did really good. Next up, we have Podcast. Now, this is a kid that kind of becomes friends with Phoebe and kind of helps her test out some of the Ghostbusters stuff she finds. For this, I gave him these goggles to represent the ones he has, and I gave him this black hood to kind of represent his headphones he has, and I gave him the Ghostbusters jumpsuit, but I made it so that he's got his sleeves rolled up because he does that in the movie, and I gave him his blue shoes. Next up, we have Summer. Summer is she's one of Trevor's friends, I guess you could say, in the newer movie, and she eventually dons the Ghostbusters uniform, so I also gave all the newer characters lighter uniforms, because you'll see why later on. But I gave her the Ghostbusters uniform, and I gave her some long black hair. Next up, we have Ivo Shandor. You might be like, hey, I watched the movie, and I have no idea who this is. Ivo Shandor is the weirdo guy who summoned Gozer. He's a big part of the Ghostbusters video game, and he's mentioned in the first two movies, which I love, and they are some of the greatest movies I've ever seen. So when this movie drops, you know I'm gonna be buying. I'm going to see it no matter what. For this, I gave him a navy blue suit with some black shoes, and I gave him this long back receding hair with a gray mustache. I think it looks really good. Next up, we have Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Now, for this, I was I thought I'd do it as a fun one. So I gave him the sailor dude's hat with just a normal white head. I gave him the chef's the chef's torso piece with some blue shoulder pads. And I actually think this looks like Stay Puft. I think it looks really good. So I'm happy with how that turned out. Here's our mystery character that I was talking about, and we have Edward Nygma, the Riddler from Batman Arkham Knight. For this, I gave him some black combed over hair with the Green Arrow face piece to get that stubble on his face and the black around his eyes. As we know, Nigma ain't sleeping. I gave him his signature question mark jacket with one short sleeve with some olive green gloves. I gave him this controlled robot thing with this green robot to represent how he's a robot nerd in Batman Arkham Knight. I gave him this black belt with black pants with some gray on them, and I gave him this green wrench to represent both his robots and his cane. I think it looks really good, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Back to Ghostbusters. These last 4 customs really hit dear to my heart because these are the people I grew up with, and I just love all of them, and I'm just really excited to share these with you. Starting off with Winston Zedmore. This is one of the 4 Ghostbusters that appear in the first movie. Now, as you can see, his uniform is a little older. It's a little worn out, and he's got the older style proton pack. But he still has the proton blaster, and he's got he's got black hair on the top with some gray going around, and he's got a gray beard.
How's the market looking?
I really like the way this custom came out, and seeing this man back in the movie was amazing.
I'm supposed to be living in the most advanced city in the world,
And next up is my favorite character of all time. We have Peter Venkman, probably one of my favorite characters in media history. I gave him an older uniform because, once again, he's one of the 3 original Ghostbusters. I gave him this receding airline piece because, let's be honest, it's absolutely perfect to capture Peter. And I gave him some black boots and a proton blaster. Second to last, we got Ray Stantz, and I gave him the same hairpiece as Winston, except brown on the top. And I gave him an older uniform, because once again, one of the first original 3. But I gave him a blue proton beam to represent a different type of proton beam that they have in the games and in the movies. Because the beams are always orange and blue, but you can't do that in this game, so I thought I'd make a couple of them orange, a couple of them blue. And I gave him the old style proton pack as well, with a drone to represent the trap, because why not? And then the moment we've all been waiting for. Huge spoilers for the movie. You've been warned. It's Egon Spengler in ghost form. Sadly, actor Harold Ramis had passed away before this movie had started. He had actually passed away before the video game. And both of those things were made in loving memory of his image. And this is Ghost Harold Ramis, Ghost Egon Spengler, one of the original 3 Ghostbusters. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. You will never be forgotten. For this, I gave him some black gloves and some black boots with the Ghostbusters uniform, of course, in a bluer tint because he's a ghost. And I gave him the gray hair. I am a defender of this cameo. I usually don't like CGIing like these characters in, but I thought it's always weird if they talk, and the way he didn't talk, it just kind of provided symbolism, and I really loved it. One of the greatest scenes in media, in my opinion, when he just shows up and he's helping everyone. Not in media, but it's one of my favorite scenes. And I gave him this hairpiece because it is made for him. It is perfect for him, this Elvis style hairpiece. And just like that, we have come to the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.